Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. Today we're going to go over the tournament coming up this weekend, along with the preparation leading up to tournaments. So stick around. Alright guys, so we got a tournament coming up this weekend. Hosted by Blue Dragon. This tournament is in Brooklyn, I believe, Brooklyn area. We've got about 11 teams, I think 3 from Wisconsin. So that should be a pretty fun tournament overall. So yeah, I just kind of want to, first off, just welcome everyone back to a little bit of normalcy, and just things are starting to gradually come back together. Hopefully everyone's been doing well. Everyone's hopefully got their shots or whatnot. And so yeah, I just kind of want to put this video out there, kind of freestyling this, putting this together real fast before our tournament comes, and that's in a couple days here. So first off, let's go over all the teams. So we've got Blue Dragons, ESPN, TG, who I believe is playing under Team Chewy. Rest in peace to one of their boys who passed away tragically. So they're playing in his memory, in his honor. We got Witness, Suicide Squad, who I believe is maybe Wasso, I believe. And they show a lot of support. They come out here for small tournaments. They were here when we hosted, I think, Labor Day a few years back. So shout out to Suicide Squad for making these trips out here. It's a lot of respect. We recognize you guys for that. So then we have FSU and Fame, LYCANS from Milwaukee. They're the junior villagers, I'd say. We got CREWSADERS from Wisconsin. I'm not exactly sure what city they're from, so I don't want to throw a city out there, but welcome those cats. And then we've got Rising Star from here. So those are 11 teams. And yeah, and so talk a little about an overview of, so this is in preparation to, let's say we'll call this is a little before, a week before Memorial, but we'll go ahead and call this, like, let's say this is the usual Memorial Weekend tournament. And so at this point of the season, running our team, Black Venom, at this point in the season, we're no longer concerned about guys getting in shape. We're not doing cardio anymore. Getting in shape is long gone at this point of the season for us. Whatever shape you're in now, that's your playing shape. If you're not healthy, if you're not, playing up to par, then it's the next person, whoever is going to give us the next best shot, because you have all off season and everything leading up to this point. So come Memorial Weekend, that's a major tournament for us. So come Memorial Weekend, that's preparing for J4 already. And so as far as getting in shape and all that, we're not concerned about that anymore. And so yeah, it's leading up to Memorial Weekend. It's all about just rehearsing plays, understanding calls and reads, and understanding your route relationships, correlation, like understanding why, against certain coverages, your depth of your route might be here as opposed to there. Little things like that now at this point of the season. Not worried about guys working on their cuts on their routes, guys trying to shave off the last few pounds. We're at this point of the season, we're ready to rock. So that's the overview of our mindset going in. And so that's just looking at our own team and my perspective. As far as uh, you know, scouting, I think nowadays this tournament in particular, I think teams are very spoiled. You have a full week now to prepare for at least your day one. You can almost at this point kind of draw out a bracket, a makeshift bracket, seed, even potential seeding stuff, just to have an idea of what teams you're likely to see first. Not just first day, but second day as well. And um, that's me. I think like that's me looking. This is never look too far ahead, but I always have to prepare so that come that time when my players are looking to start their preparation, I'm already there for them, and I can already hand that information over to them. And so, yeah, having these brackets out weeks in advance, I think it just gives. There's no excuses at this point. How my day ones, first days of tournaments goes. It goes like this. We never plan on chasing that first seed in any tournament. It's always prepping for our two games, and within our first game, I always tell myself this: within our first game, our first 3 minutes, or not 3 minutes, our first three drives of that game will determine whether we chase points in that game. If we score quick, we make quick stops, then we'll use the rest of that first game to chase points. Um, if it goes slow and we're struggling or whatnot, then my only concern is, all right, see a comfortable lead, and then we'll filter guys in and out, because a lot of guys that play Saturday, they don't get an opportunity to play Sunday. The atmospheres are different. Some players are built for Sundays, and that's just how it is. So that first three drives of that first game determines if we chase points. If we score quick, we make stops, we go for it. And then after that game, I myself personally will review, the entire first round, see how the board's looking, maybe an idea of what points we need to secure that seeding or whatnot. But if we don't get one of those top two seeds or we're not close enough, I don't bother, because like I said, my priority is to have everyone healthy for the next day. I don't care whether we're first seed or last seed. As long as we can advance into the following day and guys are healthy, we're good enough. We don't care who we play anyway the next day. Seeding is more about, it's not about matchup. It's more about, all right, we can show up a little later. So tonight, guys can afford to be out a little longer than they're supposed to be or they need to be. And so that's the importance of that first seed. But like I said, it's all determined the first three drives of that first game. And then in that next game, game two, it would almost be the same. If we have racked up and we're in good shape, racked up points and we're in good shape from that first game, game two, same thing. We're trying to get comfortable lead. And to me, that's 2 to maybe 3 possession lead. And if, once we get that, I can now filter guys, monitor, bodies of guys. But yeah, if we're comfortable with whatever we've got, we don't care. I don't really care about seeding. We really don't. But we always come in prepared for our matchups, regardless of the outcomes, what seeds you get. It's just that you're prepared, and that gives you a leg up on the opposition. It's just that it starts in the preparation. And so, so from my perspective, as if I'm preparing BV to play these guys, okay. All right, so just in order of how they listed the teams from top to bottom. Okay, so first off, Blue Dragons. So if I know in a week or days in advance that game 1 versus Blue Dragons, right? So this is I guess our team, our leaders, we're gonna discuss and approach. Um, and personally, myself, and I know a lot of coaches do, but I don't. Is they'll either manufacture like a game script. They'll maybe have like 10, 15 plays that they want to open up the game with. I have an idea. I don't have per se exact plays, but I have an idea of how I want to attack. Whether it's run inside, get on the edge, or if I want to attack certain areas of the field early on. I have an idea, and then we'll go with the flow of how the game. And like I said, I give my quarterbacks, whether it was Mike or Lee, a lot of freedom to play at their tempo, call their own plays, right? But pregame, we will always have a discussion of what we see, what we're expecting, and what we want to do. And so, Blue Dragon. And so, based off just my previous experience and knowledge of maybe personnel and team scheme. So, Blue Dragon, Black Venom would prepare. Obviously, we would we would go into more protection calls, whether it be, added a fourth line or a tight end, a halfback, someone attached on the line, an extra blocker, because you're expecting a lot of man, specifically cover zero, a lot of heavy pressure, and so at that point, we know that our scripts of maybe zone beaters, cover three beaters, we're throwing out. We're not even going to call anymore because we're expecting like a maybe 65, 70 percent minimum of man. And so now you bump your man beating plays up the list, okay? So now you have man, not just man versus man plays, but specifically like your combinations, your concepts, man concepts, I should say. And so you have more rubs, you have more switches, you have even pick plays if you have to. Little things, motions, more things to defeat that type of team you're expecting to play against. Defensively, their personnel. You have an idea of, maybe a mobile quarterback, dual quarterbacks, two different quarterbacks. Offense that's heavily revolving around the running back. So you now want to shift your focus to stopping maybe what you think they want to do, whether it's option, maybe it's screen game, whatnot. There are specifics that you discuss, and that's something I highlight with my defenders, whether it's dependent on where the linebacker is, maybe his depth to the quarterback, his relationship. And so those are things we're going to highlight on leading up to that day. So key of what we're going to be playing against defensively, and then what we're going to be seeing from them offensively as well. So that's a little idea of how we prep for that. Next on the list, ESPN. Same thing. ESPN's a very balanced team, one of the more balanced teams. They'll try to establish the run early. They've got a lot of good playmakers across the board. They just don't really have offensively that one guy with the big physical size advantage. Not too many guys are not too tall, but they're just well rounded all across the board, and they have a very they just have a solid offense in my opinion. Quarterback does have a little. I kind of keep aware. I can tell my guys, I'll tell them whether, hey, we're playing against a lefty quarterback. Of course you're gonna tell someone, you're playing against a mobile quarterback here. He's gonna do this. You play against a left-handed quarterback, but specifically against their ESPN's quarterback, he kind of has this it's like a sidearm. It's almost like a sidearm windup. So I tell guys, hey, if you, I was like, you don't have to get tall, get big. You just gotta get in space, blow things up, and go over things like that. Defensively, actually against us defensively, it's pretty much just cover three. So then, at that point with us, if we know, hey, we're gonna play a team that's probably not gonna break out of their three shell, then we just stay within our zone beating concepts, I should say. Whatever that concept is for you guys, we just stay in ours, and we know that until they break out of that, we have no need to do anything else. If we know where the soft areas of the zones are, then we're just gonna go there all day. And so that's kind of our look at ESPN. Yeah, like I said, very balanced offense. You can't get too high or too low against them. You try to mix it up, with us specifically. For balanced offense, then we have to be as balanced defensively. Whether that's man, we can stay between man and zone, between blitzing and, dropping in the coverage. Next up, you've got TG, aka Team Chewy. And with them, you never know what version you're going to get of them. I've only had to play them once, I believe. And that was a couple years ago at the Rain tournament. I think that was in the finals. It wasn't too close to score, but the game was, it was a hard-fought game because if it's Vin Diesel at quarterback, he's going to give you hell. You've got to be able to contain him, keep him in the pocket, and he's got, 65-yard arm as well. And so it depends on which version of that team is there. If it's Vin Diesel, then you got your work cut out for you. You've got to you can't just send blitzes. You've got to be very precise with your play calling. When to dial up the blitz, when not to, when to contain, when to, it's team dependent on your skill set, on your personnel, what you can do with what types of ends you have, and whatnot. What type of linebackers you have too. So it varies there. Now I don't know if he's gonna be I don't know if he even played quarterback the last year. But yeah, with them it's just athletes. Oh, and another thing is I don't know if those TCF guys can play with them or not. Because when I last played them, some of those TCF guys were with them. But I'm not too sure what look you're gonna get from them. But if you get the TCF guys, or with or without the TCF guys, a lot of athletes, you've just got to manage the explosive plays. I think you keep everything in front of you. You force checkdowns, you force them into forcing throws, make them get greedy, force them into taking a shot when they should be taking a check down. And that's when you can capitalize, force them into long third downs or maybe, dumb turnovers. Defensively, I think for the most part when we play them, they sat in cover 3 zone the whole time, I believe. And so, they're athletes, so it's harder to throw into space against athletes because they cover the field so much better. And so, you still just have to be precise, make them mess up, and that's where it's crucial that you can run the ball and you can play action as well. So with TG, like I said, it depends on which version of TG shows up. So they cause troubles with their personnel. There you got the quarterback that can run that 4 speed, and he can throw the ball 65 yards across his body. If they've got those TCL guys who are just all athletes, that's kind of dependent. The matchup, the game plan is kind of dependent on that. But yeah, it's about playing mistake-free football with them. All right, next up we have Witness, and to be honest, I didn't watch too much of Witness the last maybe season or so here. Not because I didn't want to, just because it just always felt like whenever we were playing, they were playing as well. So from memory, heavy run team, misdirection. You got double wing, And with those condensed wing formations, you're gonna have a lot of crossing routes, deep drags, corner routes because receivers are more inside the hash, inside the numbers, working the sidelines. Um, but yeah, with us, early downs, you stay with the guards, you read your guards, just read your keys. With uh, you know, let's see, they have the quarterback's got a big arm. If it's Mike, Mike's got a big arm. Um, you see, they've got a running back that if he gets to the edge, he could take it down the sideline. He could take it to the house. They have two running backs that are pretty solid. One's a young kid. Um, yeah, it's and then defensively, I honestly I think the same thing. It's almost always cover three, if I can remember correctly. Okay, so the game plan against Witness was always to blitz early and often, um, because you want to force them into big third downs, in which they have to abandon their sets, whether it's misdirection, play action. Force them to put receivers on the field, and force them to make reads and throw against your third down defense. And then offensively is we always usually just attack and go tempo right away against them, because like the plan is to get them out of their comfort zone, which is, like I said, under center, a lot of misdirection, um, you know, running the ball. So we can make them get rid of the ball, um, and then if we can jump on them early, get a touchdown or a two possession lead, force them out of their element for the rest of the game. Now they can choose to live and die in that set of, whether they're under center, two back set, two tight end set. Yeah, that's on them. If they want to be in that set, down 2-3 possessions, that's on them, which is fine with us. But yeah, our idea is force them into having to abandon that early. So that is put up points fast, get them out of their comfort zone. And for the most part, like I said, they're a solid, stout offensive line. They're a team with a great coaching history as well, and so there are a lot of high IQ guys that are they know their football, so they're not gonna break mentally. They're gonna stay within games even when scores get out of hand. Actually, I saw a game where they were down like 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns at half, and came back and won. And so, they're not gonna break it easily. But that's how our approach to them is. Next up is Suicide Squad. And so I think we played them a couple times, maybe 3 times. They're a younger team. They don't have too many guys that stand out right away. But I remember they had, I think, a safety who goes both ways. And I think our first play of July 4th against the first play of the game, I don't know what Lee was doing, but Lee threw a one-on-one ball, and their safety made a crazy play, picked us off, and almost took it to the house. And I think he might play receiver too, but I know for sure he was a safety. And the kid is I say kid, but I don't know how old he is, but he is a stud. And yeah, keep your eye out for him. I don't remember his number, but to be honest, I don't remember too much about them offensively. I think it's because we just gave them a lot of trouble up front, so they never got time to really develop their routes, their plays, or for the quarterback to really get comfortable. So I can't really speak on that. And defensively, if I remember correctly, they might have played some cover 2 or tried to, at least. I know for sure against us. I believe they played cover 2 against us. So that was a little different there. So yeah, if I'm playing Suicide Squad this weekend, I probably have to revert back to film to go kind of see what defenses they were in, see if they eventually bowed out of cover two or yeah, with that. So I guess the thing will be, yeah, just kind of keep flustered, because that's what we did with our defensive line and our blitzing. Was we never let them develop. They never got a rhythm, and I would say, yeah, that would be the game plan again. But again, revert back to film. So FSU is next. FSU, you know, I know a handful of those guys, so they got a coach that's been working with them, and yeah, I'm kind of excited to see their progression. I think they've lost a few bodies, but it'd be good to kind of see where they're at now. You know, hopefully they've kind of evolved with the schemes, and you know, see if that really gets them over the hump a little bit. I don't know if they'll have Brian playing D-line linebacker. Honestly, I think he's a dominant end. I know he wants to play middle linebacker, but he's a dominant end. He changes the game up there. So hopefully he's playing, because I'm excited to see him as well. Yeah, it's going to be, they're going to have, you know, some talented receivers. Jerry, I think Jerry's still there. You know, I think Gio might be playing with them. So I'm kind of excited to see whether Gio is going to be playing offense again. I hope so. So yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see where they're at. So offensively, they're pretty stout. Like up front, they got a big line. And with us, it wasn't so much about trying to beat the line one-on-one. It was more of us trying to reroute guys and make TK, the quarterback, you know, throw perfect balls, make him find the reads, make him elude and evade guys in the pocket. Because we knew that, I mean, TK he's a pocket quarterback, so we just wanted to force him into making some decisions that he may not be accustomed to making. And they have a few other guys, but I'm probably not going to speak on, because I don't even think they're on the team anymore. So let's see, defensively, against us, it was just, I think they tried to play man early on against us, but it eventually, kind of like everyone else, just becomes cover three mainly. I don't think they really changed it anything much defensively. So again, that's just we would stay in our cover three offensive sets and just take what the defense gives us. Take our open space, our soft zones, and you know, capitalize when they make mistakes. Then after FSU is Fame, which is going to be a pickup team. A bunch of my boys are going to be on that team, and so it'd be cool to see, you know, some faces. I think it's just a pickup team. I doubt they'll have plays or anything, but they'll have some talent. They might have a few big names, I hear rumors that they might have a couple, you know, top 3 HFF top 100. They might have a couple guys from the top 3 on their team. So we'll see how that goes. That's just simply talent versus everyone else who's got their schemes and, you know, chemistry and plays. But I think this team is more just straight up talent guys. So look out for my guy Zong. So he's gonna be special. Zong was guy we went and recruited him when he was like 14, and then he moved to California, played with Scorpions, and now he's back home. And this year, BB's kind of being dumb, so He's out there playing with Fame this weekend, so look out for Zone to make a splash now that he's back home. Yeah, so like I said, I really don't know. I mean, pickup team, you would expect a little backyard offense. Defensively, it's going to be simplified down to either just man, or more likely it's just going to be cover three, because that's just the easiest thing to do. You don't have to really have chemistry, or you don't have to be great. If you can play good zone, you can be a good defense. So that's what it is. LYCANS from Milwaukee. Now, honestly, so they were a young team from back then. Of course, they're a little older now, but still, I think I would still say like average age, I'm assuming still under 21. So for them to make this trip here, I'm gonna assume they've got some help with them. I don't think they'll come up here just though their young selves. So I'm expecting to see some villagers on there, which would be interesting. So that's gonna be my sleeper team. I don't think LYCANS comes up here if it's just their core of young guys. So for them to make this trip, I'm expecting a handful of, villagers vets, either hopefully staying with them long term to help groom these kids into the next big team, and not just a weekend of pickup football. So yeah, if there's villagers guys there, Rogers boys, I hope you guys stick around with them, raise them up. Yeah, so like I can't speak on them too much because I don't remember. I think we played them once, but I don't remember. And the game was just so out of hand that you don't really get to, you can't really make a judgment on what they're good at, what they're not good at, or what they need help with, and whatnot. So, yeah, we're not going to go there. Junior varsity. So I believe this is the Rochester team last year. They're kind of a bunch of athletic dudes, basketball players, I think. And they came up the last tournament, 2019 Labor Day. And I think they kind of ran over their first team they played. It was some young guys. And I think it was just, kind of backyardish with, throwing the jump balls up to their, much taller guys. And, I remember watching that and I was like, oh man, like, shoot, we got them next. I was like, man, we're gonna give them a rude awakening. They're gonna kind of know what we're about. And so I think we ended up dropping like 60 on them. I think it was 60. That might not be exaggerating either. And so yeah, they're not too accustomed to the whole line, utilizing the linemen and whatnot. Because I remember our first play of the game, we ran the ball. It was an 80-yard touchdown run. Just a sweep. We pulled some guards and we just cleared way. Bodies went flying and took it down the sideline 80 yards. And then after that, we aired it out on them. And it was just deep ball after deep ball. And I'm hoping that experience has kind of drove them to kind of improving on that aspect of football, that it's not really just backyard and throw it up to your athletes. You kind of have to have a little scheme and game plan along with mixing the talent. So yeah, I hopefully they stick around. Hopefully they make some progress, because I do like that there's more a little diversity with that team, and they also support from Rochester, a little about hour and a half south of here. And so it's cool to see support from those guys, and hopefully they stick around. So I'm excited to see their progress. Now, I don't know if that's really them or not. This is just what I heard, junior varsity. So, all right, next is CREWSADERS, who I have zero idea who CREWSADERS are. I may have heard the name. I think they were up here J4 a couple years back, but I I'd be lying if I said I've seen them play. If I can name players, I can't. I don't even know what color jerseys they wear. I'm gonna guess black. Black's cool. But yeah, sorry to Crusaders. If I can get out there, I'll check you guys out. Yeah, so just apologize for not having much intel on you, and if I truly were playing against you guys, I would put the work in. I would, check you guys out, ask around, talk to some fellow Wisconsin teams, trade information, maybe look you guys up on YouTube or something. But yeah, good luck this weekend, and if I can make it out there, I'll check you guys out. Lastly, it's Rising Stars, and so they're a young team. I remember them from the U18 tournament a few years back at J4. Yeah, and so I don't know. Who knows? It's been many years since then. I'm sure they're all in college now. Who knows who's on the team now, or who's not there? Because I know guys kind of spread around now. But yeah, don't know too much. Don't know who's throwing. But interested to kind of see who's still there, and how serious you guys have been taking football since last seen you guys. If you guys are taking the right steps towards making progress or whatnot. Yeah, we'll check. I'll check you guys out too. See how that goes. But yeah, so that is just my off the top of my head, my knowledge of personnel and maybe a little bit of scheming of what I'm used to, or what we're used to seeing, and that's just a general idea of each team specifically. So then I would go with my matchups, my personnel, my teams, who I'm playing that weekend. Let's say if I'm playing Blue Dragon, all right, I know I'm playing a lot of heavy man. You've got Newton playing corner here. You might not want to target him, more than 3-4 times a game, if even. You want to work your way elsewhere. Now you see your other matchups. If you get a linebacker covering here or a safety covering here, all right, how can we get a different matchup? How can we get this receiver that we want inside? Now then you'll have to figure other things out, like, is this perimeter corner? Is Newton gonna play in the nickel if we motion the guy in? If we start a guy in the nickel, is Newton gonna line up inside with him? Vice versa. On the other side, is that guy comfortable inside? So I start playing with these ideas. Go back to some film to see it, but play with those ideas as an example. And then from there, then you'll use that judgment of, all right, so we got this information. I'll come this day, like you take what you know and apply it to the game plan. And then on top of that, specifically first days, like I said, are we chasing points? Are we chasing seeding? Or and if that's not a concern, all right, what do we do? Do we just want to win the game, or do we, want to try to conserve guys? If we're playing Iron Man, conserve bodies for the following day. There's a lot of factors to it. There's a lot of game management, but in my opinion, it all starts with preparation, and that's leading up to the tournament. Like I said, I think teams are very lucky to have, a couple of weeks of knowing your opponent, knowing your potential brackets, and whatnot. So, that's just a start of my preparation for this. So let's go into some predictions. All right, field A, we've got LYCANS versus a Rising Star. Now, I had said previously that I don't think LYCANS comes up if it's just their young guys. So I'm assuming they have picked up some veterans, specifically the Villagers guys, their big brothers. So I'm going to give this game. Um, I could be wrong, but my assumption is, if I'm going off my assumption that they've got some vets coming with them, I think it could be a blowout. I think it potentially could get out of hand. Uh, Maybe blowout was a bad word, but um, something roughly. I don't know. I don't know anything about Rising Stars, but I'm gonna just throw a number out there. I'm gonna say LYCANS, 22. Rising Stars, sadly, I'm gonna say 0. 22-0. All right, Field B, Game 1. We got Witness versus Suicide Squad. I think this could be a close game early, but I'm gonna give the advantage to Witness. They're, I think, a little more experienced and older team, in the fact that I think they have a coach there to really kind of prep them for this matchup, for this game. I'm going to say Witness is going to control the game with running the ball and playing some style defense. I'm going to say Witness 26, Suicide Squad 6. 26-6. All right, Field A, we've got Fame versus FSU. So you've got Fame, pickup team, FSU, a team trying to get over the hump, might have lost a few bodies, so this is the game I want to see. This has got a lot of talent with Fame, but I'm going to go against my guys, and I'm going to pick FSU. And specifically, I'm going to take Gio to pick off Lee for a touchdown. I'm going to call Gio right now.
What's up?
You sleeping?
No.
What are you doing? Playing Madden?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. Why, you trying to play me?
You don't want this.
Boy, let's play then. I don't have work tomorrow.
Quick question.
What?
Are you going to pick off Lee first game?
I'm not playing defense.
You're weak. You're going to end up playing both ways.
No, I don't think so. Man, I'm fit for both ways right now.
Well, okay. Alright. You ain't been fit since you were playing for Harding.
Hey, you better chill out. I've been eating salads for like 2 weeks now.
Alright, this whole conversation is going to be on my YouTube video, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I'm recording. I'm recording right now.
Alright, you know what? I'm gonna kick off Lee.
Alright, bet.
Put the documentary right now.
Alright. It's going to be on YouTube tomorrow. You'll see it.
Alright.
Alright,
Just, see ya.
Alright, bye. Alright, there we go. So that's I'm gonna take FSU. Did I say score? Shoot, I got lost. I'm taking FSU. We're gonna go FSU 19, Fame 18. FSU is gonna win by 1 point conversion, and Fame's not gonna convert any. 19-18 FSU. All right, next up we got ESPN versus TG. I think overall ESPN is just one of the best, more complete teams in this tournament. So I think it's going to be an easy one. Like I said, I don't know who's TG is going to be playing or throwing for them. So I'm going to go off the assumption that ESPN is just going to rally because they're a more complete team, and they're going to take this dub. I'm going to go 20-6. 20-6 ESPN. Next up, JV versus Crusaders. The two teams, I have no idea what's going on, and so since I guess this can games end they can end a tie first game. I'm easy. I'm just gonna say 12-6. I'm gonna flip a coin. JV, congrats, you got to win. 12-6. Field B, Blue Dragons versus LYCANS. Now, normally I would probably go Blue Dragon because they've got a lot of talent, a lot of vets. But I've already made my guess that Lycan's coming up with some vets, some added reinforcements, and I'm gonna stick with that and say that they're gonna upset Blue Dragons. I'm taking Lycans to beat Blue Dragons. Let's see. Let's go with 13-8. 13-8. Let's see. Field A. Rising Stars versus Witness. Same thing as first game for Witness. I think they got a pretty good draw here in this bracket. Gonna ground and pound. Control the game. Pound the rock. And they're gonna win. Go with 22-7. I think Rising Stars can probably get a late touchdown to not make it look as ugly. 22-7 Rising Star or Witness. We've got TG versus JV. I'm gonna give this to TG. They're gonna just make more plays in the end. A bunch of athletes versus athletes. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it to TG. Let's go with 24-12. 24-12 TG over JV. Alright. Next up, we've got Suicide Squad versus Fame. And so here, I'm gonna roll with Fame off their credit, off their athleticism here. And I'm gonna say that they're pretty pissed off about the way that first game, how they lost to FSU. They come out guns blazing. So I'm gonna say Fame's gonna hit a few home run balls here, and it's gonna be a pretty big blowout here. I'm gonna take Fame 34, Suicide Squad 12. 34-12. Let's see. It's Crusaders versus Blue Dragon. Same thing. Blue Dragon's this is their redemption. They're get to take out some anger on Crusaders from their last loss to Lycans. So I'm gonna take Blue Dragons to run. I'm gonna say I'm gonna parlay this and say that Tony, if healthy, Tony's gonna run for 3 touchdowns and throw for another 2 touchdowns. And so Tony alone, five touchdowns. And so I'm gonna take Blue Dragon 44, Crusaders 6. 44-6. So far I have no shutouts. I don't think I have any shutouts. I have 1 shutout, I think. But still, being generous here, giving everyone a touchdown. Last but not least, we've got last game, ESPN versus FSU. And I think these two teams, they're the exact same age. They play all these high school tournaments against each other. They came out to the men's league together. And I think since they've come out, I think it's been FSU chasing ESPN. Some games have been close. In this one, I'm going to give the edge to ESPN. Just as of now, in my opinion, a little more complete team. And I think they're going to edge out a very close game. I'm going to say it's... I'm going to say 14-13 ESPN. 14-13. Going to win by a 2-point conversion. I'm going to say ESPN is down 13-12. You're going to score and go for 2 to win it late in the game. So ESPN takes the dub. So I'm kind of freestyling, just looking at the list. So okay, I believe I got LYCANS 2-0, ESPN 2-0, Witness 2-0. And I might have Witness as my number 1 seed if I remember correctly. I don't remember any of these points. I'm just kind of freestyling this. So I believe I've got Witness first seed. I might have ESPN second seed, possibly. Yeah, that's just kind of my first day predictions. Just because we have a set schedule. Now, overall prediction, I'm going to say that the final four teams are going to be Blue Dragons, LYCANS. I'm gonna say ESPN, and then I'm gonna sneak Fame in there. I think Fame is gonna be a bottom, one of the middle seeds. They're gonna have to upset someone to sneak in there. So that's my top four. Thanks for hanging out with me, talking a little football. Best of luck to everyone this weekend. Hoping I can come check you guys out. If I can, good luck. Be safe, wearing your mask. Have fun. And someone record the games. Send me a link so I can watch. So, all right, fellas. Good luck. Peace out.